right. There we go. NCCU Live for November 21st, 2021. I'm Keon Brown. Thank you for being with us tonight. So grateful for you all across the world. We got people tuning in from everywhere. It's 12 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And we've got an amazing show for you. Remember, this show is all about honoring NCCU alumni wherever they are for the incredible work that they're doing. And we're excited to have a great guest tonight, Jennifer Williams. Let's pull you in. Are you there, Jennifer? All right.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? So thank you for being here, class of 2008 from
Yep.
NCCU. From NCCU. Sorry about the background noise, but we're here. It's a beautiful day here. I see you glowing and shining. Tell us about how NCCU found you. How did you get to NCCU?
So I always wanted to go to an HBCU. I attended the University of North Carolina for undergrad, where I was a basketball student athlete. But I knew for grad school that I was going to go to an HBCU. And North Carolina Central was at the top of my list. At the time, I had a really good relationship with Chancellor Ammons and with Dr. Rosalind Fusehall, who also went to the University of North Carolina. And so throughout my years at Carolina, I kept in contact with Dr. Fusehall, and I had received a postgraduate scholarship through the WBCA. And after I finished working at Fox Sports, I knew that I was going to come back and go to NCCU. They had a phenomenal program for sports management through the physical education department. And then I was just very always intrigued with the athletic department, just the success they had in the CIAA. Knew some folks who had gone there, just wanted to really be a part of something special, and that was at NCCU.
Come on now. You said a couple key words. Ammons, Rosalind Fusehall. These are some powerful, amazing contributors to the NCCU community. Tell us about your dream job that you secured and what kind of stuff you do on a regular basis in your dream job.
Yeah, so right now I'm currently working at USA Basketball. I oversee the USA Basketball Foundation, where I really help just push and spread the word about everything good about basketball. We want to expand who's having an opportunity to play, because basketball just teaches you so many skills, not just on the court. Not everyone's going to be an Olympian, not everyone's going to go to the NBA or WNBA, but it teaches you skills beyond the podium, as we like to say. So right now, I'm focusing on pushing our three pillars, which is champion of women, empowering our youth, and then promoting social responsibility. And through that, we're really just trying to connect and engage with those who love the game. So that's the role I'm in right now. Prior to that, I was the athletic director at Alabama State. I was there for 4 years, and then before that, I worked at North Carolina A&T, running their Aggie Athletic Foundation, and as the associate athletic director. And prior to that, I was in Chicago at DePaul University, also working in fundraising.
I love that. You said something really critical that I think I would love to kind of deep dive on. For those who see, athletics and entertainment and want to be a star, want to be the starter, what do you say to young people who may be watching this, like the possibilities of what's available to them, not just in the top spot, the starting position, but also the other types of roles that there are on teams? What do you have to say?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So, it's all about having a plan. I know that when you're starting off, everyone wants to be the star, be the pro, but when you go to a school, you're going to have 5 people on your team who are all stars. So it's really figuring out your role and excelling in that role. And then thinking about life after your sport. In my case, it was basketball. I always was really big on career mapping. So I knew that, yeah, if I went pro, it was only going to be for such a small time. And then in the women's side, as when I came out, you weren't making a lot of money. So what's next? And so really connecting and being intentional about networking and just kind of figuring out that career path. I really big on writing down your goals. Know that your goals can change and shift, but you need to have a plan. And so for student athletes out there right now, yes, focus on excelling, not just on the court or in your sport, but you also have to focus on excelling in the classroom. I think sometimes, regardless of what level you're at, people lose sight of that. And I saw that when I was a student athlete at Carolina, and then also when I came to North Carolina Central and worked in the athletic department. You are a student first, a scholar athlete first. And that was something I instilled in my student athletes when I was at Alabama State. You are a scholar first. And my biggest success and what I felt was my greatest accomplishment was seeing my student athletes go on and be pros in life and excel and accomplish great things once they graduated with their degrees.
Now, Jennifer, this is the first show since homecoming. Did you go to homecoming this year?
I did. I did. I actually was a last minute decision. I was able to get a really good flight out of Denver that got me to North Carolina on Thursday night. So I had a great time.
What came up for you? This is the first one after the pandemic. What were the feelings that you were experiencing coming back on the yard after for so long?
It was just good to be around people, that human element. I say my Eagle family. I normally, when I go back to homecoming, I go with a group, a ton of people. I just rode up by myself because it was super last minute. Carolina also had their homecoming that weekend as well. So I actually just came on, the yard by myself and was able to walk around and just really take in, I think, some things we take for granted, especially those who aren't close to North Carolina Central or in Durham or in North Carolina. And I just was amazed at the progress in the buildings because I hadn't been on campus probably in 7 years. And so just to be able to walk around and see the progression and the new buildings, and then, go by the Walker complex where I was constantly at, being that, I had my master's in physical education and sport management, but it was just nice to be back home. Seeing some of the same folks that I, was there when I was in school. I didn't miss a beat. Even the officers gave me a ride over to the new bookstore because I guess I looked like I was tired of walking, but they were so helpful, and they even offered and gave me a ride over to the bookstore. So it was a really great experience, and it felt good to be home.
The yard has changed a lot since we were there, since the Ammons
Yes,
years.
yes,
Um, Look, I wanted to ask you also about giving, because you're in fundraising. You're the fundraising guru. We need to have some conversations about that too off here. But why is it important for alumni to give?
yeah. I get asked that all the time, and when you're a corporation, or we've been seeing in the news a lot that these corporations have been making donations to HBCUs. They look at alumni giving. They look at that percentage. And if I'm a company or an organization, I'm not going to invest in a university or in a department if I don't see alumni, those who went there and matriculated from there, giving back. And so as alumni, you have to give all the time. It has to be consistent efforts. It can't just be when you feel good or when the moment hits you. It needs to be on a consistent basis. And giving is two things. Yeah, we want people to give financially, but giving of your time. Opening your doors if you are a CEO for mentorship for current students. That's a form of giving as well. So it's not always about the financial aspect of it, even though as administrators, we like those dollars, but it is about time too. You want to give your time and your talent and your treasures as well. So giving is, I say alumni is the lifeline to any institution. Wherever you see strong alumni bases, that's normally those schools are doing well. And to see kind of the plans that Central has in place, that shows me that our alumni are giving back. But obviously, we can always up the ante. And, like I said, I think that we also need to be more cognizant of looking across spectrums. While I give to the athletic department, I need to look at also supporting the physical ed department and becoming, a part of the alumni association. So it's other ways to get involved. I think making sure people understand the options to give and the ways to give and making it as easy as possible in this day and age. You need to be able to do it from your phone because people like quick. And so those are some of the things that go into making the access easy, and then knowing the why it's needed and why it's important.
Well, I'll do a shameless plug since you mentioned that. It's easy to give to NCCU. We actually created a domain that takes you right there, eaglesgive.com. Eagles, you're Eagle, I'm Eagle. Eaglesgive.com. You can, it's just as simple as paying your cell phone bill. It really is. I've done it. You can do a recurring gift. You can choose where you want to go with it. Yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned those things about giving and the importance of it. I want to, as we wind down, because we're doing a brief show. You're our only guest tonight, which I'm so excited about. I want to talk to you about our student athletes. And I know in the news recently, there's a law been passed that they, about likeness and them being paid. What's your experience with that, and how is that impacting NCCU? How does it impact HBCUs, student athletes having the rights to their own likenesses?
I think it's a major move. I can't speak specifically on how it's impacting NCCU because I'm not in their athletic department, but just in totality, I think it's awesome for the student athletes. What I will say is that they need to make sure they educate themselves and understand what it is when they're making these deals, making sure they're transparent, talking to their compliance unit, their compliance departments, just making sure you're as transparent as possible and understanding the agreements that you're signing. And then making sure that when you do get into these agreements that it doesn't affect your scholarship because you want to be very particular about being over awarded. But I do think that it puts the student athlete in control of their quote unquote kind of destiny and being able to manage money. Obviously, that was something that was not out there when we were in school. But kids and student athletes, they have so many more platforms to get their brand out there than what we had coming out. We didn't have social media like this. I think when I graduated from Carolina, Facebook, it may have been in its first year, and you had to have a college email address to even have access to Facebook. But now you have all these platforms, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, everything out there where people are able to see what you bring to the table and what your value is and how you can sell a product. So I think it's awesome. I'm interested to see where the landscape goes and how it's being monitored. I know there's going to be a lot of updates and changes coming out of the NCAA, probably the beginning of 2022. But again, if you're a student athlete and you're looking to tap into this, just make sure you are being upfront and transparent with your coaches as well as your compliance department.
And like any contract, have an attorney take a look at it and make sure that you're represented appropriately, right?
Yes, legal counsel is always good, but know that that's something that the student athlete has to obtain. It's something that universities won't be at bay to do. It's something, this is your contract. So making sure you take ownership because it's going to be your dollars. So making sure that you have that legal counsel is always good. If it's something you don't understand, ask because once you sign it, you're bound to it.
Some of them just want to be verified on Instagram. That's what's most important.
The blue check,
The blue check. You need to talk about that green check. You need to check it the
green
producer
check.
green
So you can get back to your institution. So
first. That part. Last question for you. Let's talk about breaking glass ceilings. And I know that you're up there with hammers. You've been hammering, but you also are alongside of people like Dr. Ingrid Wicker McCree, who have done some amazing work. Talk about what's possible moving forward for women, minorities, underutilized populations. What's possible?
yeah, I say everything, any and everything is possible. First off, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Ingrid, excuse me, I can't talk, Ingrid Wicker McCree. She's awesome, has been a mentor of mine. It's just been great watching her just kill the game. I mean, like, just from being a coach for those who are right now coaching who have admirations to transition into administration. Ingrid has the plan, and she had a plan, and so she made a transition. She was very instrumental in North Carolina Central, going from Division II to Division I, and then has had success as a female leading a football program to the Celebration Bowl. We just came in number 2 in the MEAC yesterday. Has won basketball countless amounts of time. They like to say that women, especially in football, we can't manage football, but she's had great success there and with her revenue sport. So the sky is the limit. Women, you have to see other women in the role. So I really am big on representation. It definitely matters. And we need male champions also. I think sometimes men women be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, or, how can I be an ally? But it's just asking those questions and then just giving women the shot to lead and to do the things, and genuinely being open to letting them lead. That to me are going to be the keys for women continuing to move up in sport, because it's come a long way from when I started out as a student athlete, but we have a really, really long way to go. We're not there yet, but it's coming slowly but surely. It is coming, but I'm grateful for women like Ingrid and others who have really kind of laid that foundation and been those role models to help women like me and others, aspire to stay in sport and to be a part of sport.
Indeed, you remember her when she was a volleyball coach. We've seen
Yeah.
it. We've seen the
Yep.
trajectory. That's
We've
back when we were
seen
in
it.
school. Man,
Yep.
so proud of her. It's just the athletes that are watching her now have no idea
None.
where it was, but so much is possible because of her and people like you.
Thank
Um,
you.
I want to go into, as we close, our Eagles Give Challenge, where we uh, encourage everyone to go to eaglesgive.com and you make a recurring gift to the university. And look, if you don't have an endowment or have a sorority or fraternity or any place that you want to put the money, you can always give it to the annual fund. The annual fund is soft money that they can use to do things that they need to do in the university. You can trust that the university is spending the money in the appropriate way. You give it to Ingrid Wicker McCree, and you know the athletics is going to be together. You give it to Jim Harper in the history department, you know it's going to be taken care of. I'm saying that because I know these people, but we are good stewards of the money that we get. I don't care what the news says. I don't care what nobody got to say about a disgruntled employee. What I'm telling you is that NCCU is fertile soil for you to give of your wealth, give of your resources, and they will grow that money and make good on the promises to you as a donor. Don't you agree, Jennifer?
I agree. I agree. I'm partial to the athletic department. My husband was a football student athlete there as well. So, yeah, but just give. I'm always like unrestricted an annual fund. So if you can't figure it out, just give to the annual fund. That's unrestricted, dollars that can be used where it's most needed at that time.
Well, that we're going to leave it there. I'm so grateful for you being here, Jennifer Lynn Williams from the class of 2008. Thank you for being here. We're honoring you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. Like I said, I love my Eagle family. I'm so grateful for my time at North Carolina Central. It really helped me figure out the path of me wanting to work in HBCUs and having the success that I had while I was an athletic director and now with USA Basketball. So just grateful for my time.
Jennifer, any final words, anything, any final thoughts for people as we go? Your final thought.
Um, you know, I tell people all the time, support. I know we have our Eagles on here, but support your Black colleges. Whether you are a grad, whether you're not, and you're just tuning in and you live in Durham, I'm always big on giving back. And if you're blessed and in certain situations, you should want to be a blessing and pay it forward. You have Giving Tuesday coming up. It's Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Give to your Eagles on Giving Tuesday, and you really make a difference. I think people get caught up in the dollar amount. Every bit helps. It's not about those major gifts, but a lot of little gifts help too, and they make immediate impact. So support your HBCU, support NCCU, because HBCUs definitely matter. And because of my HBCU, which is North Carolina Central, I'm so grateful and just thankful for what was instilled in me when I decided to come in 2005.
I love that you said that. Obama won his elections because of not the largest donations, but a series of small donations,
Yeah.
$1, $2, $3 on a recurring basis whenever you
Hmm.
can. That stuff adds up. That
Yep.
stuff adds up. And I'll tell you, as a donor, the university is excellent at giving you the receipt, and at the end of the year, giving you a itemized list so you can give to your tax professional, whatever. Like, it's so simple. All right,
Hmm.
so we're out of here. Go to eaglesgive.com and join the NCCU Alumni Association at nccualumni.org. It's only $50 a year. Come on. And then make a recurring gift to the university. Remember that an eagle is no common, ordinary barnyard fowl. Right, Jennifer Lynn Williams?
Not at all. We are extraordinary.
Extraordinary. I love that. I love that. Look, we are taking a break for the rest of the year. We got a cool team that needs a break, and so we love doing this. And we're going to come back in the new year refreshed and able to again holler at alumni who are doing amazing things. And I'm just so grateful that you were able to join us tonight, Jennifer. Have a good one. Okay.
Thanks. You too. Thank you.
Take care, Eagles.